right now at 7.
Mostert, left side.
He flew under the radar all season, but tonight everyone is talking about 49ers running back Raheem Mostert.
Came looking for like a Mostert jersey.
And what happened?
I didn't find it.
And the pressure building for the players, and it's not just what is happening on the field.
But people don't realize that not everyone gets that many tickets, and you're going to have to say no to some people, and it's going to be tough.
Plus a search for the suspects who hit and killed an innocent Bay Area woman while on the run from police.
That vehicle continued on and at some point got into the freeway.
This is a huge victory.
They got the boot, but now they're back. The stunning reversal over a house where a group of moms were illegally squatting.
This was always a debate about what the methodology was.
Super Bowl fever right now on KPIX-5 News at 7, streaming on CBS Bay Area. And tonight, the 49ers and their fans getting their plans in order as we count down to Miami. Good evening, I'm Ken Bastida.
And I'm Juliette Goodrich in for Veronica. Niners head coach Kyle Shanahan says dishing out tickets to friends and family can put big pressure on the players.
But people don't realize that not everyone gets that many tickets, and you're going to have to say no to some people, and it's going to be tough. But you got to focus on the people real tight to you, help whoever you can. But once you're done and you make the decisions you can, you have to move on, and you got to focus on the task at hand, because once you get down there, it's hectic, and everyone wants to be taken care of and stuff. But we got a job to do, and that's what we're going to do.
And I don't have any tickets tonight as our sports director, Dennis O'Donnell, so don't bother asking. But he does have more on the man who has everyone talking tonight. We knew who he was. The rest of the country's finding out about Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, he's from Florida. Ticket requests coming his way for sure. Now, the 49ers are headed to South Beach for Super Bowl 54, thanks to a record-setting performance Sunday from the team's resident beach bum, who made quite a name for himself.
Earlier in the year, I didn't have a clue who you were. As a matter of fact, I got you wrong on the highlight package. I called you Mozart.
Mostert hit all the right notes against the Packers. He ran for 220 yards, second only to Eric Dickerson for most rushing yards in a playoff game, and scored all 4 49er touchdowns.
Happiest day of my life, other than my wedding and the birth of my son.
Hot boy.
Undrafted out of Purdue in 2015, Mostert had been let go by 6 teams before sticking with the 49ers. And even this year, he entered training camp as the team's 4th-string running back.
I actually still have, the cut dates, and I look at that before every game. I look at the cut dates when I got cut.
Mostert hopes to ride the wave of Sunday's performance right into Miami. But don't worry, the only surfing he plans to do takes place in the end zone, not the ocean.
I don't know how great the surf is in Miami, but will you find any time to maybe get out there?
No. It's going to be all business down there, and we got something that we want to go after, and we'll celebrate after the win.
Unknown before the season began, but John Lynch, the 49ers GM, saw something. He signed Mozart to an $8.7 million contract back in March.
Yeah, what a fantastic.
Envision, yeah. Great story.
Yeah, they are on their way to Miami. Hard to believe, but it's true. Here's what the week looks like for the 49ers. Tomorrow is an off day for the players, but a big day for the coaches. They're going to work on their game plan, look at film. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are all practice sessions. Saturday, they get a day off, say goodbye to family, make travel arrangements for mom and dad and cousins and aunts and uncles. And then Sunday, the big travel day as the team heads to Miami.
They've got a lot to do, but first the celebration, then the shopping. KPIX-5's Len Ramirez followed the crowd to the Levi's Stadium merchandise store.
Well, the 49ers team store here at Levi's Stadium has you covered with Niners gear from head to toe, but if it's Super Bowl tickets you want, you might have to look a little harder. The line to the 49ers team store at Levi's Stadium was loud and long. People waited 45 minutes just to get in. But this fan group called 408 Empire has its sights set on something not in the store, Super Bowl tickets.
You guys going to Miami?
Oh, yeah, we're going to Miami.
Do you have tickets already?
Yes, sir. Not the game tickets, but we're going to buy them once we get over there.
Right now, the cheapest Super Bowl game tickets are around $5,000 on ticket reselling sites, and the most expensive around $70,000. This group has been season ticket holders at Levi's since the stadium opened. They were hoping to get in a lottery for Super Bowl tickets, but they were texted this message that said no.
15% of the season ticket holders will end up getting drawn for Super Bowl tickets, the opportunity to buy Super Bowl tickets. And so I got the email last night and unfortunately was not drawn. So, good luck to whoever did get it, and hopefully they can't buy them and they'll put them back on and maybe I'll get a chance to get it. So.
But they already have some tickets, plane tickets to Miami, and a plan.
Then as the game starts, the prices start dropping, so you can pick something
up. Wait till the game starts and go in at the first quarter.
You could go in late.
I don't care as long as I'm inside that city.
I don't care if I get in at halftime.
I don't care when we get in there.
You got your strategy.
Yes, sir. We got it ready to go.
And if not, we'll hit the local sports bar.
In Santa Clara, Len Ramirez, KPIX-5.
Well, in other news tonight, Berkeley police looking for the hit-and-run driver who killed a woman who was on the sidewalk. It happened during a police chase when University police heard a woman inside of a vehicle screaming for help. This happened at 6th Street near University. The officers approached that vehicle and then it took off. And the vehicle ended up on the sidewalk, hitting and killing that woman. The victim has not yet been identified. University Avenue remains closed in that area at this hour.
That vehicle continued on and at some point got onto the freeway. A vehicle is described as a gray four-door Nissan sedan. So we're hoping that if anyone has any information or perhaps video or dash cam video, that they can contact our homicide unit.
Also tonight, we are hearing from a man who tried to save the driver in a fiery Tesla crash in Pleasanton. Video shows the Model S engulfed in flames Saturday. The driver appeared to lose control of the vehicle, slamming into a traffic signal and a cement wall. People nearby tried to help, but it was already too late.
We gave out scissors and the knives to cut out the seat belt, but there was no way for us to reach the neighbor. He quickly went there. He tried to cut it off with the knife, but the car was in flames.
Yeah, driver has not been identified. It's not clear at this point whether alcohol or drugs were a factor in the crash.
A mysterious virus in China is spreading and has world health officials on edge. In fact, now they say a new strain of the coronavirus can be passed from person to person. Tonight, the city of Wuhan, the epicenter of the outbreak, is racing to contain the potential spread of the virus. It has already infected more than 200 people, and at least 4 people have died. Other cases have been reported in Beijing, Bangkok, and Japan.
It demonstrates quite clearly that at least under some circumstances, human-to-human spread is not only possible, but can be frequent. So that's an ominous sign.
All travelers coming from Wuhan to SFO are required to undergo screening. Passengers must answer a questionnaire and have their temperature taken by CDC personnel.
A twist in a high-profile housing battle going on in Oakland. The Moms for Housing activists who were evicted for illegally occupying that home now have a chance to move back into it. KPIX-5's Andrea Borba on the surprise deal with the property's owner.
The house behind me is still boarded and fenced up tonight, but it appears Oakland Moms for Housing may have made a significant move to getting a permanent housing situation. After court battles and eviction by Alameda County Sheriff's deputies, the West Oakland home at the center of the Moms for Housing fight will be purchased by the Oakland Community Land Trust for the appraised value.
It shouldn't have gotten this far for them to come to the tables now of negotiating and saying, hey, we'll just turn it over to you. But the real pain and the real hurt we hold inside.
And it's not just 2928 Magnolia.
With this one act, Wedgwood has offered to sell their entire Oakland portfolio to the land trust so it is affordable in perpetuity. And so that is an example of what they want to see. Speculation is driving up the housing costs for everyone.
As for the sale now of the West Oakland property at the heart of the Moms for Housing movement, Sam Singer, a spokesperson for Wedgwood, had this to say.
What changed was the house was no longer being held hostage. We always said that we would negotiate and have discussions once the house was free.
Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf says this could be a model for the future.
Community land trusts provide a path for low-income residents to actually own their own homes. And the City of Oakland is a partner in making that happen by setting aside a part of our affordable housing funds specifically for this purpose.
Now, the house still needs some work on the inside to become habitable. According to Sam Singer, who is the spokesperson for Wedgwood, he believes that the deal should close tomorrow. In Oakland, Andrea Borba, KPIX-5.
Still to come, thinking of heading to Miami for the big game?
Well, it won't come cheap, but we did find one option that could help you save some money.
Every part of me is thinking about a trip to Miami, but, you know, money comes to play.
I tell you, yesterday, I was so excited, I even got sick.
Also ahead, the Bay Area woman who proves you're never too old to be a 49er faithful.
We're achieving what no administration has ever achieved before. And what do I get out of it? Tell me. I get impeached.
Plus, on the eve of the impeachment trial, President Trump leaves Washington, and we get a preview of his defense strategy.
And more than a preview, we get a forecast as to what's happening. Hint, it's going to get wet, not once but twice in the next 7 days. We look live toward the city from Treasure Island. It's all coming up in a minute.
And don't forget, we are streaming now on CBSN Bay Area. You can find us on KPIX.com, the CBS News app, or your favorite platform. So now that your beloved 49ers are in the Super Bowl, what would it cost to go?
Well, we did a little shopping around for you. It's not cheap, but it might not be as expensive as you think. We talked to a travel agency that has a package deal, and there are a lot of them out there. Airfare, hotel, and game tickets for about $5,000.
The suppliers that we work with have pre-purchased those tickets. They know they're going to sell them. They just don't know which teams are going. Now that they know the teams.
Every part of me is thinking about a trip to Miami, but, you know, money comes to play on that one. That's a pretty expensive trip.
Go, Jimmy. It'll be worth it. The experts say don't wait too long to decide. Once you're inside the 7-day window travel, the airfares start to shoot up like that.
Yeah, now they're trying to do nonstop flights from the Bay Area to the Florida area, which is good too.
How do you know that?
Well, we did a story on it. I was ready to check and start looking on it.
I know you. She does too. Before you know it, she won't be here on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah,
where's Jules?
Yeah. All right. But before then, we've got some rain coming our way, huh? A little bit.
Just
okay.
that much. Yeah. Not a lot of rain, but nevertheless enough to mess up the commute up in the North Bay. And then by tomorrow night, it'll mostly be out of here. But as we overlook the city of San Francisco, it looks deceptively calm tonight. The winds aren't good, and it's also, apparently it's dark outside. 49 at Concord. Oakland right now, 53 degrees, and in San Francisco, 55. High-def Doppler is showing that there was rain today. It was mostly south of the Bay Area. And all of that caused a few problems on the Central Coast, Hearst Castle, down through San Luis and Santa Maria. But for us, we're on the northern edge for a change, so we stayed dry. In the immediate Bay Area, not an echo in sight. That's going to change by about 5 o'clock tomorrow morning in the North Bay, as that low pressure you see spinning off of Oregon State is now going to spread south. A weak cold front moves into the Bay Area, and as a result, Ukiah picks up about 1/3 of an inch between now and Wednesday morning. San Rafael is not doing too badly at 2/3 of an inch of rain and perhaps 1/2 an inch in San Francisco, but elsewhere, not so much really. Beach hazard statement is up for a little bit of a sneaker wave threat. We've got a long northwesterly swell, and that is not so swell out at the beach, as it does introduce the risk of rip currents and breaker waves, so be careful if you're going to the beach. As we have a look at the futurecast, this gets a better idea of the timing. You can see that cold front moves in and is over the central Bay Area by about 3 in the afternoon, begins to head south after that and break up. Not much left, and breaking up is easy to do for this cold front. It's too far south of the parent low, and as a result, it's going to be gone by sunset tomorrow night. Could be a lingering shower or two, but that's about it. Futurecast shows that Tuesday showers. The rest of the week looks dry until the time we get to around Sunday. Then more rain will move in on Sunday. So to sum it up, tonight's cloudy. Tomorrow it's wet in the North Bay. Much of the rest of the Bay Area south of the Golden Gate doesn't get a drop until later in the afternoon. And even then, it's not going to be too terribly much. But San Francisco north doesn't look bad. The next chance of rain is moving in on Sunday. And for tonight, we'll look at lows in the 40s. Ignore all of the animated rain you see up there. That's actually representing rain that's falling up in Oregon. Why we're showing it, it's an automated thing. Right to me. 7:21 tomorrow morning is sunrise. And then the forecast highs for tomorrow in the mid-50s. And we'll have a dry start in the South Bay. You get some sun tomorrow morning in the South Bay.
then rain late in the day. East Bay, rain about noonish. And then up in the North Bay will look like mid-morning, about 10 in the morning or so. In the extended forecast, oops, don't forget Ukiah, which gets pretty good rain tomorrow morning before sunrise. Dries out Wednesday through Saturday. Next chance Sunday. Have a good Tuesday. Carry an umbrella. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Juliet.
Well, here's what you missed if you're just getting home. On the eve of his impeachment trial, President Trump is on his way to Switzerland tonight to attend the World Economic Forum. Today, the president's legal team previewed its strategy, calling the case against him flimsy, a brazenly political act, and the result of a rigged process. And rigged, that is. The president's defense does not deny that he pressured Ukraine to investigate the Bidens, but argues that Democrats have failed to show the president violated any laws.
We're achieving what no administration has ever achieved before. And what do I get out of it? Tell me. I get impeached.
More than 20,000 gun rights supporters, many heavily armed, gathered outside today at Virginia State Capitol, angry over new gun restrictions proposed by Democratic state legislators. A counter demonstration was canceled and the event remained peaceful. President Trump and Vice President Pence honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. by visiting the Civil Rights Leaders Memorial in Washington, D.C. The two were greeted by a mix of cheers and boos from other visitors. They spent a few moments standing in silence in front of several wreaths.
Ain't no power like the power of people, because the power of people don't stop. What?
And some kids getting into the meaning of Martin Luther King Day, leading a chant at the Oakland City Hall about the power of the people. This was minutes before the news conference announcing the deal with the Moms for Housing to sell them the home they'd been illegally occupying. Ken?
Thanks, Juliet. Coming up next, if you thought smoking marijuana was healthier than smoking cigarettes, you may want to think again. Some new questions about the drug's effect on the heart. And she's not just any 49er fan. She might be the oldest one alive.
I said, you darn 49ers, you're going to lose if you don't watch what you're doing. Get moving. Go.
Plus, who is former quarterback Joe Montana picking to win the Super Bowl? His cryptic prediction on Twitter coming up.
Some alarming new research tonight shows a link between marijuana and heart risks.
Yeah, the study found that smoking pot carries many of the same cardiovascular risks as smoking tobacco. It also found marijuana use in any form can interfere with certain cardiovascular medications like blood pressure and cholesterol drugs.
For many, many people, they feel that it is completely safe. And the reality is, and that's what we're beginning to expose with research like this and reviews, is that it may in fact not be harmless.
Well, the 49ers have a slogan, faithful then, faithful now. But at 104, Mary Alasia has to be faithful forever. She says she's seen every game going back decades, from Kezar Stadium to Candlestick. She couldn't help but do a little coaching from her reclining chair during yesterday's game.
I said, you darn 49ers, you're going to lose if you don't watch what you're doing. Get moving. Go.
And they did.
They did. Fortunate. Oh, wow. I tell you, they had me scared there for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Love Mary. Mary's favorite player of all time, Joe Montana.
Speaking of, coming up next, who does Montana think will win the Super Bowl? Why it may be a trick question.
Plus, the police chief in Green Bay makes good on his bet. But can you spot the problem in this picture? We did.
Well, Joe Montana tweeted his Super Bowl prediction. Gotta love it. He said, quote, I guarantee my team will win the Super Bowl. Joe, of course, played for both the Niners and the Chiefs at the end of his career.
Okay, and this one is going to make people laugh. The Green Bay police chief made good on his bet. Did
fake.
He?
That's
was
a
San
fake.
Francisco's
That's fake
police
news.
chief, but people on social media say the 49ers jersey he's wearing is actually photoshopped onto the chief, that he actually wasn't wearing it. So judge for yourself.
That is dishonest.
Yeah.
What do you think would be an appropriate penalty?
Community service.
15 yards. Hope you're listening.
Thanks for watching us at 7. See you at 11 o'clock. We're always streaming on CBS and Bay Area.